China's Xi Jinping is panicking over coming population crisis. Let's dive into the details, shall we? The impending collapse of China's population creates a closing window of opportunity that could spur Xi Jinping to be more provocative, more belligerent, a Chinese expert said. Xi must be in a panic. His primary form of diplomacy is to intimidate others, Gordon Chang told Fox News. If you're going to have the world's largest economy, if you're going to be the most populous society, yeah, you can intimidate others. But if your country is rapidly shrinking and that's what's going to happen to China, then no one's going to be particularly scared, he added. China's population fell in 2022 to 1.411 billion, down about 850,000 people from the previous year, according to the country's National Bureau of Statistics. This marking its first decline since Mao Zedong's Great Leap Forward, a failed economic campaign that led to widespread famine and death from 1958 to 1962. The United Nations forecast shows China's population decreasing 100 million by 2050 and 600 million by 2100 due to an aging population, a shrinking workforce, and declining fertility rates. A population decline will severely undercut the ability of the economy to grow, Chang said. China's demographic dividend was largely responsible for the growth of the Chinese economy in the 80s and 90s. That was an extraordinary bulge in the workforce. Now we are seeing the opposite of that. Chinese officials have tried for years to slow down the impending demographic crisis, removing its one-child policy and offering incentives to encourage families to have children. The city of Hangzhou announced it will give $2,900 to parents who have a third child this year, according to the Zhangjiang Daily. Shanghai is increasing the amount of paid leave for couples getting married to 30 days, up from the standard 3 days. They can trigger a bump for a year or two, but when the incentives are ended, people go back to their normal birth patterns, Chang said. And I mean, $3,000 for a kid isn't even that much. Kids cost way more than that to raise. It's going to be the steepest demographic decline in history in the absence of war or disease. China has had the largest population in the world since at least the 1950s, when the UN started keeping records. India is expected to overtake China as the most populous country by April, the UN report shows. This is going to be a really traumatic for China, Chang told Fox News. Being a part of the world's most populous tribe is really a matter of pride for the Chinese. To have India overtake China is adding insult to injury, at least in Chinese minds, because they view Indians as inferior, he added. There are a number of reasons why the young generations in China are choosing not to start families, including the high cost of childcare and an overall gender imbalance in the country. But persuasive pessimism felt by the Chinese people will be the toughest to deal with, Chang said. Unrest, beginning with the country's strict zero COVID policies, led to some youth calling themselves China's last generation. Wow. There are many things that make me think my generation is likely to be China's last, or its last good one, Shanghai resident Dylan Wang told The Insider in May. None of my friends want to have children, and I, for one, don't want to bring a new life into a world like this, and for them to grow up to be lonely, aimless, and another useless statistic in the country's birth rate. Wow, definitely pessimism. I think that sums up what people in at least urban China are thinking, Chang said in the now censored hashtag last generation. These attitudes are baked into Chinese society. The Communism Party, for all its power, can't change them. It can't force people to have children. Without any feasible solutions, China's demographic crisis is creating a closing window of opportunity for Xi to act on the territorial ambitions and invade a neighboring country, Chang said. I think he probably has a use it or lose it mentality, he said, knowing that new generations will only continue to shrink forces Xi Jinping to act sooner than he'd like, and it would force him to act more provocatively than he would otherwise, Chang added. So we've got to be concerned about China, but not a couple of decades from now. We've got to be concerned about China at this moment. Yeah, Xi Jinping's probably not going to be here. What is he, in his 60s? Give him 3 more decades, he probably won't be here anymore. So, yeah, he's going to be like, okay, we need to do something now. But what are they going to do? There's nothing they can do. It's too late. The culture's changed. Wealth is shrinking. The economy is shrinking. Maybe if the economy is going really, really well, you could see that. But yeah, probably not for right now. But what's your opinion on the story? Please let me know in the comments below. Also, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for daily news updates, hit that notification bell, and share this video to spread the news. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.